8th Standard English, Unit 4, Prose, My Reminiscences. So, reminiscences meaning is nothing but the poet is telling the story about his past things, whatever is held. So, it is called reminiscence. So, here the author, sorry, not poet, author. Poet or author something. So, the author is Rabindranath Tagore. So, he is telling his past story. So, now we'll go for the lesson. Listen to the teacher and read the section. So you can also read and see this section. When I returned home from the outset of my second voyage to England, my brother Jyotindra and sister-in-law were living in a riverside villa at Nagore, and there I went to stay with them. So while he was coming from England, his brother Jyotindra and sister-in-law were living in the riverside villa. Villa means a house at Chandanagar, and there he went and stayed with them. The Ganges again those ineffable days and nights, and languid with joy, sad with longing, attuned to the plaintive babbling on the river along the cool shade of its wooded banks. The Bengal sky full of light, this south breeze, this flow of river, this royal, this right royal laziness, this broad leisure stretching from the horizons to horizon and from green earth to blue sky. All these way to me as food and drink to the hungry and thirsty. Here it felt indeed like home, and in these I recognized the ministrations of a mother. So here the hard words we can see the meaning inflammable, ineffable meaning is beyond expressions too great to be expressed, languid moving slowly, plaintive sounding sad, ministration the acting of help or caring. That was not so very long ago, and yet time was worth many changes. What the meaning is cost. A little riverside nest, cluttering under their surrounding greenery, have been placed by Miss Vishnu Dragon Life. Everywhere rear their hissing heads, belching forth black smoke. In the midday glare of modern life, even our hours of mental siesta have been narrowed down to the lowest limit, and Hydra headed unrest has invaded every department of life. Maybe this is for the better, but I, for one, cannot account it wholly to the good. These lovely days of mine at the riverside passed by like so many dedicated lotus blossoms floating down the scared stream. Some rainy afternoons I spent in a veritable frenzy singing away old Vaishnava songs to my own tune, accompanying myself on a harmonium. On other afternoons, he would drift along in a boat, my brother Jyotindra accompanying my singing with his violin, and as, beginning with the Puravi, we went on varying the modes of our music with the declining day. We saw, on reaching the Behaga, the western sky close to the doors of its factory of golden toys, and the moon on the east rise over the fringe of trees. Then we would row back to the landing steps of the villa and seat ourselves on a quilt spread on the terrace facing the river. By then, a silvery peace rested on both land and water. Hardly any boughs were about the fringe of trees on the bank was reduced to a deep shadow, and the moonlight glimmered over the smooth flowing stream. The villa we were living in was known as Moran's Garden. A flight of stone flagged steps led up from the water to the long, broad veranda which formed part of the house. The rooms were not regularly arranged nor all on the same level, and some had to be reached by short flights of stairs. The big sitting room overlooking the landing steps had stained glass windows with colored pictures. One of the pictures was of a swing hanging from a branch half hidden in dense foliage, and in the checkered light and shade of this bower. Two persons were swing, and there was another of a broad flight of steps leading into some castle like palace, up and down, which men and women in festive garb were going and coming. When the light fell on the windows, these pictures shone wonderfully, seems to fill the riverside atmosphere with holiday music. Some faraway, long forgotten revelry seemed to be expressing itself in silent words of light. The love thrills on the swinging couple, making alive with their eternal story the landlords of the river banks. The topmost room of the house was in a round tower with window opening to every side. This I used as my room for writing poetry. Nothing could be seen from then save the tops of the surrounding trees and the open sky. I was then busy with the evening songs, and of this room I wrote. There were in the breast of limitless space clouds are laid to sleep. I have built my house for thee, O poesy. So now we can see about the author. Rabindranath Tagore, 1861 to 1941, Nobel Prize winning Bengali poet, author, philosopher, artist, and educator, wrote Geetanjali in 1912. My Reminiscence was written and published in the 50th year, shortly before he started on a trip to Europe and America for his falling health in 1912. It was in course of this trip that he wrote the first time in English language for publication. Okay, children, if you have any doubts in the hard words, here is a glossary. You can refer this also. So, garb is nothing but the clothes. So, before I have told the meanings of these hard words, here also it is there. It is a very simple story told by the author Rabindranath Tagore. Thank you.